right, so I'm Geoplex, my name's Liam, and I recently turned 30, unfortunately. I live in Australia, and I do have a day job, but I spend a lot of my time doing music work as well. I don't live alone, I live with my partner. She's featured on a few of my recent tracks, actually. We do have pets. We have 2 cats named Otto and Ori. We rescued Ori as a stray kitten, and Otto immediately took to being his big brother and taught him how to be a normal cat. What games do I like to play? My friends and I have all been enjoying the recent, with friends games, like Lethal Company, Repo, Peak. But for just me, I've always had a bit of an MMORPG habit. And at the moment, I've been playing a lot of old school RuneScape, which is a game from 2007. With my partner though, we like to play horror games, and we're currently playing through Alien Isolation. And before that, we played Amnesia: The Bunker. I found Fox Stevenson, who was named Stan SB back then, on Newgrounds in 2008 when he uploaded Cloudhead, which is a song he later released with Liquicity. Since then, he's been my favorite artist, just straight up. I recommend his new album, Sunk Cost Fallacy, very highly. There are a few other music artists that I love, like AU5, Temanite, Modus, Grant, to name a few, but there are way too many to list. For the plugins that I use, this is a short list of my preferred plugins. And in terms of favorites, Serum 2 makes me wonder how I ever lived without it. The Melda Production free plugins are very solid. I like using the comb filter as a sound design tool. Valhalla Supermassive is a delay plugin that is just unbeatable as far as free stuff goes. And I really like Grossbeat, which is kind of like an old FL Studio plugin. It's kind of like Shaperbox, but worse. But I don't have Shaperbox, and I like using it as a way to sort of rhythmically iterate. And in terms of labels, there's a big one that contacted me recently who I'm interested in working with, but I feel like I have a sort of perfectionism problem, so I find it difficult to surrender my work, but we will see. Collaboration is cool, but I always found it difficult. Some recent individuals I have started collaborations with are F777 and Aaron Music, and a few others. But I don't really see those projects being finished anytime soon, so this is not an announcement. I think that artists are sort of naturally chaotic people, speaking for myself here, and that can make collaboration a bit unpredictable. For what I can recommend to aspiring artists, it depends on the motives of the individual. There is so much stuff out there these days, it can feel difficult to break through the noise. If you're trying to make work for your own satisfaction and joy, then this isn't a problem, and your passion will guide you to like-minded people, and you'll find and create your own community. But if you're seeking attention and money above the satiation of your own artistic desire, you'll probably find yourself surrounded by dispassionate and shallow people. I think we can tell when a person is genuine, even through the internet. And basically, I'm just saying you should make stuff that you love. Don't be overly concerned with trends or popularity. Your music represents a real person, so make it about you. The details of what you make should reveal something about your subjective experience. And this is true of all things, not just of music. It was originally inspired by a song by AU5 called Eden. But it sounds nothing like Eden. I only knew that I wanted to make some kind of electro house track, and while I was emulating AU5's song, I wrote out some chords with similarity to Megalovania, and then I just kind of went from there. For other genres that I might experiment with, it depends what you have in mind. If you mean non-electronic music, then almost certainly. Last decade, I made a lot of orchestral music, some of which I released. And I also write video game soundtracks and pop music for other artists and clients. So that sort of thing is on the table too, but no plans right now. Assuming this is about music equipment, I first started making music with an old, terribly out of tune piano and a keyboard, which was like from the 80s or 90s, and I recorded everything into a tape player. It was retro, even for the time. But when I was 12, I started making music on the computer with FL7. It took me a very long time to figure out how to do anything because I had no one to teach me. There were no tutorials back then. It was a struggle. For the first month of using FL7, I couldn't figure out how to make a song that was longer than like 6 seconds because I didn't know about the playlist and I was putting everything in the step sequencer. And then I found out about piano roll. It took me like a month to find out about piano roll. Listen, I was a kid. I didn't know what was going on. What's my favorite track I've made and how long does it take? I think my most recent song, Invert, is my favorite of my finished songs. I mentioned earlier that I have a bit of a perfectionism problem, and this is reflected in the time it takes me to finish a track. Invert took about 350 hours. It's so long that for each second of Invert that you listen to, I spent over 1 hour working on the song, which is just absurd. When I make music for commission, this is a lot lower. It's a lot better, often like 6 to 12 hours for a song. It's just different. I haven't played much Geometry Dash myself, and when I have played it, I'm terrible at it. So my ability to appreciate creativity in level design is a bit limited. So it's difficult to answer the first part of that question, unfortunately. I haven't gotten very far in many user-made levels because I haven't spent the time getting good at the game. So basically, skill issue. It's hard to answer from a player perspective, but Sputnik's levels are obviously like mind-blowing, and that's obvious even to me. Like, I'm sure there are others like him pushing the boundaries of Geometry Dash level creation, but I don't have enough of an insider's perspective to know. And you know, I'd like to say, I first heard of Geometry Dash in 2014, and it was ages before I figured out what it was or how people were using my music, but it was very exciting, and I remain grateful from then to now. I think it's genuinely so positive to have a community that revolves around level creation and Newgrounds music. In many ways, it mirrors the old days of Newgrounds, where animators and game designers would use music from the audio portal in their creations. That was very exciting too, and I feel essentially the same way about both things. I hope the game and the community continue to thrive for as long as possible. And by the way, I'm told that DJ Stryden is next.